AI is moving faster than anyone predicted. If creative jobs weren't safe, what makes you think your job is safe? The question isn't if AI is going to replace you, but when and why. We're breaking the future down into 3 waves of AI job replacement. The timeline, it isn't based on how smart the job is. It's based on 3 technical factors: data availability, task structure, and physicality. We'll show you how each factor determines who's going first. Stick around for the final section to see which jobs are truly AI-proof. Wave 1, the immediate horizon. The jobs at risk in Wave 1 are going to be your things like data entry clerks, transcriptionists, Tier 1 customer service, basic copywriters, retail cashiers, that kind of stuff. Now, why do these jobs go first? That's because these tasks, they live entirely in the digital world. They rely on clean, standardized data. And AI has been trained on mountains of this data. It doesn't get distracted. It doesn't need breaks. It can perform pattern-based work, like extracting data from an invoice or following a customer service script with near perfect accuracy. The result, the human role, it's not augmented here. It's completely replaced because the manual process, it's just redundant. Wave 2, the middle class squeeze. The jobs at risk here are paralegals, junior financial analysts, junior software developers, research analysts, medical secretaries, and coders. Why are these jobs next? These jobs require degrees, yes, but 80% of the job is cognitive synthesis. What does that mean? That's going to include your things like reading, summarizing, finding patterns, writing first drafts. Large language models are specialized language engines. They can review millions of legal documents and billions, with a B, of financial data points in seconds. This completely replaces the junior associate's core function. For developers, AI writes the boilerplate code and can debug simple functions. Companies now realize that one senior engineer with AI tools can do the work of 3 juniors. The bar to entry is exponentially raised here. This is creating a shift. The job is not completely eliminated like in Wave 1, but it's being compressed here. The human is now only paid for the final strategic 10% of the work. Wave 3, the physical and complex integration. The jobs at risk here are going to be your things like long-haul truck drivers, advanced warehouse staff, your assembly line operators, and your radiologists and image analysts. Now, I know you're asking why the delay for these jobs. And the thing here is these jobs are protected by physical reality. It's easy for AI to understand the concept of driving, but it's hard for a robot to handle a patch of black ice while it's raining and also trying to avoid a pedestrian at the same time. Let's start with trucking. There's a handful of technical hurdles that have to be overcome here first before these jobs start getting replaced. The technology, it's almost ready for predictable highway routes. Just look at Tesla, what they're doing with the Tesla Semi. The complex regulatory approval and the need to handle, for humans to handle that unpredicted last mile and those last minute changes, that's going to delay the replacement of this job. Then you have your manual labor. This requires creating robots that are cheap enough and flexible enough to be able to navigate in the chaotic human space. This is an expensive and time-consuming endeavor, which again is why this is delaying the replacement of manual labor. And then you have your specialized analysis, like your radiologists. AI is superior at pattern recognition in scans. There's no question about that. But the high stakes accountability in a life or death situation still requires a human sign-off. This is shifting the role to more oversight here. The pivot, what survives and what thrives. The future-proof pillars here are going to be empathy, strategy, and accountability. Let's start with the empathy-driven roles. That's going to be your things like therapists, nurses, high-level educators. AI can simulate compassion, but it can't build trust. It can't provide genuine comfort or interpret nuanced emotional cues yet. That is the heart of these professions. Then you have your complex strategy and leadership. That's going to be your things like CEOs, CSOs, trial lawyers. These roles rely on messy, not quantifiable inputs here. That includes your things like political risk, social mood, team motivation, ethical judgments. That can't be solved by algorithms alone. And then you have the accountability loop. That's your surgeons, your master plumbers, your electricians. When the stakes are life or death or a critical system failure, we demand a human to take legal and moral responsibility. So what am I saying here? Don't compete against AI. Learn to manage it. Become the person who guides the machine and not the one who's replaced it.